Hey guys, welcome to the webinar. My name is Jon Mac, and today we're going to be talking about how to scale to 5 figures per day with your Commerce HQ store. So with the brand new RevUp method, it's more of an advanced training today. I understand you're not going to probably get everything I'm talking about, but definitely want to hold your questions till the end, and we're going to help you out as much as possible, get as much value as possible from this webinar today to really help you break through those barriers of scaling. You know, when I recently asked my list, what's the biggest thing you struggle with? It always comes back to scaling, because even if you can find that one winning product, how do you then go and 10x it and start doing, 1,000 a day to 10,000 a day to 20, 30, 40K a day revenue with that product? So today I'm going to be helping you with that, sharing with you the foundations of scaling, exactly how the algorithm works first, and show you basically how to hack that algorithm to your advantage. So listen, before we get started, guys, just let me know in the chat if you can see my screen and you can hear me okay. Put a 1 in the box and just let me know real quick. Awesome. Thank you, guys. And yeah, before we dive in, just let me know where you hail from. I myself from Kelowna, West Coast, Canada. Always cool to see other Canadians in here, but I know we have people from all over the world. It's a crazy time for some of you. Chris from Australia, thanks so much for showing up. I know it's kind of a wacky time. Brian from New York. We've got Chuck from Arizona. I'm actually heading to Arizona on Saturday. That's pretty cool. We've got Josh from Idaho. Gerard from New York, awesome. We've got Edward, another fellow Canadian from London, Ontario. Ido from Quebec, very cool. Wow, someone from Nanaimo. We've got Peter from Slovakia, Nathan from Calgary, Jer from Slovenia, all over the world, guys, amazing. Love to see that, and it just really tells true that the fact that you can run this business from anywhere. Like, I'm heading down, I'm getting out of the snow. It's way too cold up here in Canada in the winter time. So we're going to be heading down to Phoenix, Arizona, maybe stop off in Scottsdale and try to get some sun and some water. So that's the beautiful part. We can take your business. You have a laptop, you can work from anywhere, any place, anytime. And I think that's probably the best part of this business. So again, what we're going to be focusing on today, guys, is scaling. Definitely more of an intermediate to advanced training today. So just really sit tight, put down your phone, put down your email, put down your Facebook, take notes, and prepare some questions for the end of the webinar. I'm going to try to give you guys as much value as I can today, explain it in as best I can, as simply as I can, so you can take this information and get results right away with your e-commerce store. So listen, let's get right into it, guys. So using my new RevUp method, which is actually the second, third version of the pusher method, which I came out with 2 years ago, we have been doing a lot of retesting the last 2 months, and it's been working incredibly well. So you can see here, we spent 36K, we returned 81K for over a 2.24 times ROAS. ROAS is return on ad spend. Okay, so today we're going to be learning 4 main things. Number 1, the Facebook loophole. We're going to be discovering how to hack the Facebook algorithm to get the cheapest traffic. Number 2, ad set optimization. We're going to understand the learning phase and how that works so you can scale up your budgets faster. Number 3, audience expander. We're going to figure out how to reach new people in the ad auction to maximize revenue. That's really the key to scaling right there. And number 4, if people who are really have an awesome winning product that's doing extremely well with high ROAS, if you want to blow it up fast, this is for you, the RevUp method. You're going to learn how to double or triple your ad spend daily, literally daily, without losing ROI. Guys, who's excited? Throw a 2 in the box if you're pumped and you're ready to go and you want to learn about scaling today. Awesome. I see a lot of 2s. Cool. Let's keep going. So with this method and all the strategies I've been talking about today in the webinar, people are getting crazy results like this. So Jonas here did 1 million in just 5 months. He's got 2 stores, both did over $500,000 in revenue and absolutely blew it out of the park. We have Tatiana here who did 1.1 million in 6 months with 1 store. And the craziest part is, guys, this is with 1 product. Now, this is a really huge point I want to hit home to you guys. The fact that you don't need, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 products all working at the same time. No, I would say 90% of the stores on Commerce HQ, 90% of their revenue comes from 1 product. That's all you need. If you can just think that in your mind, that have that mindset that, I just got to keep testing until literally 1 product hits. That's all you need. You can do 7 figures with 1 product in 6 months. Absolutely incredible. Blew it out of the park. Another example here, 1.27 million in just 2 months. That was with 2 products. And this is Isabel. She's got a couple products as well, doing 7 figures in 6 months. Chris Santos, almost 900 grand in 6 months. And then we have people doing 6 figures, right? So it doesn't matter where you're at, if you're making $1 per day online or 10 grand a day. I think the information today is gravely going to help you understand the scaling process and how to 10x your current product campaigns. Don here as well, 6 figures in 90 days. So brand new year, guys, 2018, this is it. This is your time to shine and really come out of the woodwork with a big swing and hitting it hard with those successful product campaigns. And scaling is going to be the best way to do that, obviously with Facebook ads. So what's our goal this year? We want to generate the highest net profit with your store while removing confusion and overwhelm with scaling Facebook ads. Okay, so who's this for today? This training today is really for people who have an e-commerce store. You're spending at least $100 a day on Facebook ads, or you want to, and people who want to master scaling to reach 5-figure days. And at the end of the training, after we're going to be giving you all this information, I'm going to be extending out an invite to all of you personally to come and join me one-on-one live at one of our events. I'm going to be talking more about that in detail at the end, but definitely stay tuned. There's going to be a lot more help available if you need it to understand the scaling process. So if you don't know me, you should hopefully by now. I've been online since 2010. I'm engaged to a lovely lady and also have a cute little white dog named Mushroom. I live in Kelowna, Canada. It's on the west coast, close to Vancouver, just north of Seattle. And I'm really passionate about helping people create their dream lifestyle business. It blows my mind how fast someone can change their life. Literally within 2 months, 4 months, 6 months, everything can change for you if you actually take this business seriously. And you're not an entrepreneur, you're a real entrepreneur. You're going to be in this thing day in and day out, working your butt off until it actually works for you. Okay. Also the co-founder of revolutionary new e-commerce platform called Commerce HQ. Also the founder of the Millionaire Challenge, published author and speaker. I'm sure a lot of you have my book, Cash Flow for Life. If you don't, definitely go grab it. It's on Amazon and even for free on some places as well. So enough about me, guys. Let's talk about you and how we can get you more and better results using scaling to your advantage with Facebook ads. So the question is, a lot of people ask me this all the time. How do you get from spending $100 a day or $200 a day or $500 a day to cranking that ad spend up to $5 grand a day? Because really, guys, the more you spend, the more you should make if you're optimizing correctly. Okay, I'll say that again. The more you spend on ads, the more you should make net profit if you're optimizing correctly, okay? But scaling is the hardest part of Facebook ads by far. Time and time again, I'm sure you guys have experienced this. I've experienced it myself many times. You go to scale up a campaign, you crank up the budget, and then it just dies, right? Or on the 3rd, 4th day, it just dies. So we're going to try to figure out all those issues and try to resolve them today live on the call. Okay. Now, the number one thing you need to do is you need to have a high risk tolerance, right? This is not for the faint of heart, especially the RevUp method at the end. It's hyper aggressive, but definitely you got to have an appetite for risk and be able to spend more on ads to scale up that campaign, right? So I've got some brand new scaling strategies to teach you. And these are the exact same strategies I'm using right now and my students who generate 7 figures per year, like all those people I showed you. Okay. So again, we're going to be going through the Facebook loophole, ad set optimization, audience expander, and the RevUp method. All right, let's get started, guys. Key number 1, the Facebook loophole. So you first understand how Facebook ads actually works. It's an auction system. There's actually millions of auctions happening every second, maybe split second, right? So their algorithms and their computers in the background, their machine learning are holding all these millions of auctions all the time. And either you win an auction or you don't. So it's you versus the other advertisers to get that traffic. Okay. Now you have to understand from Facebook's perspective, they're always trying to play this balancing act between maximizing value for you, the advertiser, but also maximizing value for people and the users who are on Facebook, right? So it's a constant balancing act. That's why you keep seeing Facebook come out with all these algorithm changes, right? Like they just did with the newsfeed. So very interesting. So how do we actually win the ad auction, right? You're in there, you're competing against all these other advertisers for all this high quality traffic. What are the variables in the auction and how do they actually affect your ROAS or return on ad spend? Okay. How is the auction settled and how does that affect your campaign performance? and what should you bid to maximize return on ad spend. So as you can see at the graph here at the bottom, we've got a bunch of white circles outlined in green. Those are auctions that you're winning, and the ones at gray above, you're not bidding high enough, so you're not going to win those auctions, right? So it's a constant bidding and auction system that all happens in the background, but it's good to understand how this thing works so you can use it to your advantage. So the auction formula, this is the actual formula from Facebook itself. You can see in the screenshot below. So the total value of you as an advertiser in the auction is essentially your bid, okay, whether it's auto bid or manual bid, whatever that bid is, times estimated action rate plus user value. So what does this even mean? This simply means that, number one, the only thing you can really control here is the advertiser bid. Okay, so if you're on auto bid, that's typically $30 per bid. It can go up and down depending on you're going to win that auction or not. Or manual bid, you can actually select a bid that you want, right? So that's the only thing we can control is the bid, and then it gets times by the estimated action rate. What does that even mean? So that's essentially Facebook has got a bunch of different algorithms and formulas in the background that analyzes your traffic, the audience, the targeting, and your ad and what you're trying to optimize for. If we're trying to optimize for purchase, it's going to actually have an estimated conversion rate for that auction, okay? So those two things get timesed, and then you add user value, and user value is just essentially your relevance score on the ad post, right? So from 0 to 10, 0 being the worst, 10 being the best, you have a relevance score, and that greatly affects how much you actually pay for the traffic, right? Because we're paying for Facebook ads on a CPM basis, which is cost per 1,000 impressions. So we're actually paying every 1,000 views of our ad. So that CPM is calculated with this formula, okay? So the advertisers with the highest eCPM wins the auction, which essentially means the advertiser with the highest value in Facebook eyes, they're going to win that high quality traffic, okay? Now, without getting too much into the nitty gritty, I want to give you a quick example. I'm terrible at math, so don't worry if you don't get this. It's just to illustrate how the system actually works before we dive into the actual scaling strategy. So let's say I'm on auto bid and it works out to $30 a bid, which is pretty average. That's going to get times by Facebook's estimated conversion rate plus your quality score. That's going to give you a total value or an eCPM. So let's say mine is 19 cents. The competitor right below me, his value is only 9 cents. So I'm more valuable in Facebook eyes than the next competitor's bid. Okay. So I'm not going to pay the 19 cents. I'm actually going to pay the 9 cents. So the biggest takeaway from this, guys, this example, is the way that the Facebook ad auction works is you're not going to pay how much you bid or what your value works out to. You're going to pay the bid of the person who's right below you, who you beat out in that auction. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. So simply you pay based on the second highest competitor's bid or your own bid, but typically it's the second highest. So that's the beautiful thing, about Facebook ads compared to AdWords and other ad platforms, right? So definitely is helpful when bringing that traffic cost down. Okay, so where do we start? Now that we understand the fundamentals, the foundation of the Facebook ad auction, how it works, how we buy traffic, how it gets calculated, all that fun stuff. What do we do next? Well, when we're testing products, you always want to use auto bidding. So start with auto bidding. Don't even mess with manual bidding. Always optimize for purchase, okay? And use one-day click. So why auto bidding? Well, number one, we have no idea what this ad set is going to convert at, right? It could convert at $5 per conversion, 10, 20, 30, who knows? So we have to use auto bid to try to find that sweet spot. And Facebook has a really great algorithm that does that in the background to figure it out for you. Why do we optimize for purchase? Well, if you optimize for clicks, guess what? You're going to get clickers. You optimize for add to cart, you're going to get people who love to add to cart. If you optimize for purchase, you're going to get people who buy, right? There are clear buckets of traffic quality on Facebook, and you have to tell Facebook exactly what you want. If you want purchases, then optimize for purchase. It's very, very simple. Now, one-day click conversion window. Why do we do one-day click now instead of 7-day like we did in the past? One-day click is working better because what's happening is, as long as you're scaling up and you're feeding Facebook more data, it's going to optimize once per day for you on that ad set. If we had a 7-day click window, it's only going to optimize once per week. And you guys need to know, or maybe you already do, with retargeting campaigns, what's the best type of retargeting campaign? You're targeting people who are most recent to your store, usually within the last 3 days. If you retarget people in the last 3 days, that's going to have the highest ROAS, right, compared to 7 days. So I think why the one-day click works a lot better is because, again, it's optimizing daily and it's taking the latest data, the freshest data from the last 24 hours to optimize to find the next batch of people who are going to buy. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Now, auto bidding works great below $100 budgets. You definitely don't want to go above that. Very rare that it works. Very, very hit or miss. It's almost like gambling, right? So typically we like to start it at $25, maybe $50 budget with the auto bid. And we found that, even scaling up budgets with auto past $100 budget, the ROAS just dies, right? Your return on ad spend. It's not worth it. So the goal is to find one winning product, which means more than 3 sales on one ad set. Okay, that's ideal. You want to have one ad set that gets at least 3 sales, whether that's in 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, what have you. It's best to combine interests into one ad set. So maybe you guys are testing multiple ad sets with different targeting. Once you find which interests work best, you can actually consolidate all those best interests into one big ad set. And this is actually working a lot better. And the goal here, again, is 2 times or higher ROAS. This is the magic metrics, guys. That's really the only thing you should be concerned about at the end of the day. How do I double my money with Facebook ads? How do I get 2 times or higher ROAS, which is return on ad spend, after that $25 max budget that's spent, right? If you spend like $35, $45, $55 on an ad set with no sale, just pause it. You're wasting money. Like I still see this a lot of the time, and it's just a total waste. Do not spend more than $25 if there's no sale on that ad set, okay? And then at the end of the day, guys, at a bare minimum, Facebook needs at least 5 conversions per day per ad set to optimize properly. Now they say 50 conversions per week, which is probably optimized or ideal, but we've noticed at a bare minimum you can get away with 5+ conversions per day per ad set. Okay, so let's continue on, talk a little bit more about auto bidding before we go to manual. So with auto, this is right from the horse's mouth, right from Facebook, screenshot from their website. What this graph shows is that the higher the budget goes, the higher your cost per result or your cost per purchase is going to be. Okay, it's Facebook is telling you right here, this is how it works. They've got something called probabilistic throttling and discount bidding. Okay, so that's why if you try to go with higher budgets on auto, it just dies, because that's the way the system's built. What happens is you have that higher budget and Facebook's going to spend it either way. It's like a kid in a candy store. If you give a kid a credit card, an unlimited credit card limit, he goes into a candy store, he's going to buy everything. It's like Facebook, right? No matter what, with auto bid, they're going to spend it on a daily basis. So that's why the only way to control Facebook in spending is to keep those budgets lower with auto bid. Okay, now talking more about manual bidding. What should you bid? After you've figured out what works on auto, you can actually edit the ad sets and switch it to manual bidding. You don't have to duplicate it or anything like that. You just literally edit the ad set and switch it out to manual. Now, you guys are always going to see the suggested bid thing, the bid range that's suggested by Facebook. Don't worry about that. Totally useless, doesn't mean anything. What you want to do is make your manual bid based on the CPA from the auto bidding ad sets. Okay, so you look at the last day, 1 day click attribution window to check the true CPA over the past 7 days. So essentially what that means is look at your last 7 days, all your ad sets, figure out the average cost per purchase, okay? And then you can do a manual bid of 1 times to 3 times that average cost per purchase or CPA. So if your CPA average is $40, then you're gonna bid between $40 and $120 on max bid. I hope that makes sense, right? So you look to see what the average cost per purchase is on auto bid ad sets. As soon as you figure that out after a few days, boom, you flip those to manual and you bid 1 time to 3 times that average CPA. Okay, and a pro tip, just random thing here, you definitely guys should be doing with all new ad sets is excluding past purchasers. All right, so budget pacing. What does that even mean? So with auto bid, again, guys, it's going to spend your whole budget every time. With manual average bidding, or now it's called target cost, it's going to spend most of your budget, but if not all, every time. Okay, and then manual max bid, which is I forget what it's called now. It's the first option there. It's going to spend as much of your budget as your auction allows you to win. So if you have a bid that's too low, you're not going to spend that much on that ad set. Definitely not going to spend the whole budget, maybe only 50% or less. Okay. Now, what we have found is that the manual average bid or target cost is actually the best option for scaling. Okay. And why is that? Well, again, with auto bid, it's like a kid in a candy store. You're giving Facebook your credit card. You're saying, hey, Facebook, go hog wild, go spend all my money. I don't care about the results. Typically after a certain amount, go nuts. Manual average bid is actually the best of both worlds. Okay. Because you're saying Facebook, hey, don't go crazy, like get out there and take some action, but don't go nuts and spend it all. Try to get me a CPA or cost per purchase around this manual bid average, right? So it's actually like manual average bidding or target cost is actually like a combination of auto and manual bid, because it is going to move your bid up and down to win those auctions and find those sweet spots, but it's not going to blow out your budget. Okay, so I hope that makes sense as well. We definitely prefer manual average bid or target cost. Max bid is a lot less consistent. Some days it spends 50% of the budget, other days it spends 80%. It's not consistent. With average bid, it should actually spend the same amount every day and get you great results. Whew, that's a lot. Okay, are you guys still with me? Throw a 1 in the box if you're still here and you're excited about all this newfound knowledge today. Awesome, thanks Brian. We got Suzanne, Nathan, Chris, Chase, Brian, Josh, Val, Vin, Rick. Awesome, thanks guys. Glad you're still with us. All right, so the scaling challenge. So Facebook's predicted probability of conversion greatly affects our CPA and ROAS. So again, that estimated conversion rate that somehow Facebook knows and figures out, that really affects our CPA and ROAS as well. So the first time when you launch an ad set, it has to do well on day 1, day 2 max. We have to give Facebook solid conversion data to get that ad set pointed in the right direction. Okay. If it doesn't start off on a good foot, just pause it. It's not going to work. It's not going to magically get better, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days later on. It's not. We've always noticed this from the last 6 months and even today. An ad set has to work on day 1 or day 2, 100%. Okay, relevant score is also critical to achieving profitable ROAS. You want to make sure you have a good message to market match, meaning that your ad is interesting, you're getting lots of likes, shares, comments, all that good stuff. That's going to give you a high relevance score, which is critical to getting great ROAS. Your click-through rate, CTR, and negative feedback will directly affect your relevance score as well. So if you have a CTR of, 1% or 1.5% even, it's not going to be good enough. You're probably going to have bad relevance score there. And you definitely don't want to have negative feedback and upset people. So you want to have a click-through rate of at least 2.5%, and that's ideal. Okay, 2.5% or higher. Again, like I mentioned before, guys, there are different pools of traffic 100% on Facebook. And Facebook will try to hit the best audiences first. So if I say, hey, Facebook, I want purchasers, I want buyers, go find them. Facebook's going to say, okay, no problem. I'm going to go out, find those buyers first. Once it's cleaned up all that low-hanging fruit, it's going to move on to tier 2 traffic. There's literally pools or tiers or buckets of different quality traffic on Facebook. I can't say it enough times because it's so important, right, to understand that. And as you scale and as you spend more with that campaign, as it gets older and older, you are going to see the ROI, you are going to see the ROAS dip and go down, right? Because that's what happens when you're scaling. You're taking all that low-hanging fruit from the trees first, and then you're going off into the field and trying to do some more farming there with lower quality stuff. So you must be able to accept a lower ROAS when scaling. That's you need higher margins on your products to maximize scaling impact. So this is huge, guys. A really big takeaway. Definitely write this down. If you can find products that have a 70 to 80% margin, you're going to have so much of an easier time scaling because you have all that margin to play with, right? Because as we scale, it's going to cost you more and more to get those buyers and get those conversions. But if we already have a massive margin built in, it's going to be so much easier. We're still going to be very profitable, and scaling is just going to be like night and day for you with higher margins. So for a product that's doing really well, we try to aim to get 70, 80% margin. Remember, if you have 60% margin, you can always go to your vendor, negotiate with them, try to break them down, and get some discounts on the pricing side. Whew. All right, guys. So if you don't fully understand what I've been talking about today, don't worry. Again, you guys are going to have another chance at the end of the webinar to learn more about this stuff in detail and working with me on a direct one-on-one basis. All right, so key number 2, ad set optimization. So there's a huge misconception here, guys, that I'm still seeing in the industry. People are talking about it all the time. The misconception is this: the pixel learns over time. It's absolutely wrong. All optimization, guys, now happens at the ad set level. Each ad set is like its own little soldier. It's going out to war. You got to give it the best weapons to go to battle with so it comes back alive and you don't pause it, right? So optimization has nothing to do with the pixel. The only thing the pixel does now is helps you build custom audiences and obviously track all your conversion data. But it doesn't actually help optimize anything, right? So when people say, oh, I got to build up my pixel, blah, 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 that's a bunch of BS, not true. All optimization happens now at the ad set level. Every single ad set is its own individual soldier that optimizes by itself. Okay, there's no interaction there between campaigns or anything. Every ad set, it's alone by itself. So Facebook, again, has said it takes 50 conversions per week to properly optimize an ad set. We are seeing at least 5 conversions per day per ad set minimum. So that's 35 per week, 5 times 7, okay? So that's what I would aim for, getting at least 5 conversions per day per ad set. Now, of course, in the beginning, that's going to be very hard with a $25 or $50 budget. So right when you find a winning product, you got to scale that thing up bigger with bigger budgets, manual bidding, so that you can work out the numbers so you can actually feed Facebook enough conversion data to be able to go out and find more buyers for you. Okay. So that's really how you take full advantage of the new Facebook algorithm, guys, with bigger budgets and figuring out those numbers on manual bid. So now let's talk about plugging the leaks. So first of all, you guys need to know the basics. What's your CPM on the ad set? What's your click-through rate, your cost per click, your cost per add to cart, your cost per purchase, or CPA as we call it, and your ROAS, return on ad spend, and ROI, return on investment. Those are basic metrics you got to know on a per ad set level. Right? So if your CPC is above $3, your CTR is probably low, or your targeting is off, or your ad is off. Over $3 is not going to work. Like 99% of the time, we've never seen a CPC over $3 work well. Very, very rarely. Okay. If your cost per add to cart is above $20, your price is probably too high, not going to work. If your ROAS is below 2 times, your price is probably too high, or is just not, that product is just not a real true winner, scalable winner. Right? There's different levels of winning products. There's bronze, silver, and gold. Anything below 2x is bronze. Anything over 2 times is silver. Anything over 2.5 times is typically gold, right? So we're trying to find silver or gold winners to be able to scale those suckers big with those big margins. So again, you want to aim for 3 sales minimum on an ad set with auto bid before scaling to manual bid. So if I launch an ad set at like $25, $50 budget, I'd run that for a day or 2. If I get 3 sales, boom, I'm going to edit that ad set to manual based on the average CPA, lock in that bid, increase the budget, and let's go. Okay, so that's the process there. So another big issue, guys, you want to definitely take a look at after you start scaling up big, when you start spending like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5K a day, start looking at ad set overlap. Right? So Facebook now has mentioned many times, many different places, that they want you to consolidate your ad sets, have less ad sets with bigger budgets, right? So you don't want to have hundreds of ad sets running anymore. What works best is consolidation. So all your targeting audience should be saved as well. When you save each audience, you can plug it into this tool, audience overlap, right? Which is in your business manager. And you can actually compare 2 audiences together and see the overlap there. So if the overlap is over 75%, like you can see right here at the bottom screen, 75% or higher, you want to consider combining those interests or audiences into one ad set and consolidate, right? Because there's too much overlap happening there, and that can actually hurt you in the auction. The only way to get around this is by having multiple ad accounts, but you don't want to do that in the beginning, guys. It's a nightmare to manage. Just one ad account, reduce the overlap as much as possible, below 50% is even better, and just consolidate as much as you can. Bigger audiences, bigger budgets, less ad sets. Okay, that's for 2018. Now, new best practice. Again, like I mentioned, you're gonna get rewarded with bigger budgets. Now, in terms of the audience size, when you're scaling with manual bidding and you've consolidated these ad sets into bigger ones, try to aim for at least 10 million plus audience. Now, why do we do that? Number one, you're going to have lower traffic cost, lower CPMs, right? We pay by an impression basis. You're going to have lower cost on that end. But also the ad set's going to actually last longer because Facebook has such a big pool of people to go after to find those buyers. It's going to last a lot longer than an audience size of 1-2 million or less. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Now this strategy, guys, in total, the whole point of it is to avoid scattering conversion data across many ad sets. Because again, if you're not feeding Facebook with at least 5 conversions per day per ad set, it's not going to get properly optimized. You might get lucky on day 1 or 2. You guys have probably seen this 100 times. You'll launch an ad set, you get a couple sales, you're all pumped up, and then it just dies on day 3 or 4. That's because it's just pure luck. 1-2 sales doesn't mean anything. You need at least 3 sales, and you need to see that it makes even more sales after that once you go and try to switch that thing to manual with bigger budgets. So instead of scattering data across all these ad sets, we have a smaller amount of ad sets that are getting more conversions per day. It's going to optimize faster for you. And you're actually going to be able to scale faster and have less ad management with this strategy. Okay, and you can be able to find winners a lot faster day 1 or day 2 max. So the whole goal here, guys, is to understand how Facebook's algorithm works in 2018 and how to work with it instead of against it. Okay. So let's talk about the testing phase again. So again, a lot of people will struggle with even just the testing phase. I want to touch on this some more. So you want to start with higher budgets on auto bid. In the past, people were doing $5 budgets, $10 budgets. Doesn't work anymore. Forget it. Start with at least $25. Pause fast if no sale. What's the difference? Like if you have a $10 budget, you're going to have to run that for 3 days anyway to see if it's going to work or not. But why not just spend $25 day 1, get that data fast, and figure out if it's going to work on day 1? It's going to save you time, right? We're trying to find winners on day 1, day 2. We're not in this thing to find a winner in a few weeks or a few months. We want to figure something out this week and try to find a winning product campaign. So definitely $25 minimum budget when starting on auto bids. Just target USA to start. You're going to find 90% of your sales come from the States anyway. So just start with the US. That's going to be your best foothold on the market to see if the product is actually going to work. Right? Then later on, you can add a second ad set targeting worldwide, but excluding all these bad countries. So that's a great way to scale out as well, obviously, is by country or geo. Now I want to talk about auto placement, no matter if you're testing or scaling or whatever. This is an interesting thing that's been working so much better than before. So auto placement, what does it even mean? Well, of course, there's different placements with Facebook ad platform. You have Facebook, you have Instagram, you have Audience Network. What else? There are instant articles, right? Even messenger ads now. So what does auto placement mean? It basically means that Facebook, you're going to let it figure out where the buyers are and place your ads on any asset it thinks is going to make that sale. So you might have some conversions on Instagram, you might have some on Facebook, you might have some on Audience Network. Doesn't matter. Facebook is going to optimize at a lot better rates by giving it more room to find those conversions. Okay, so definitely auto placement is what you want to use. And fewer ad sets, guys, this is the key. Fewer ad sets, bigger budgets, bigger audiences. That's the key for 2018 scaling. All right, so before we go into key number 3, guys, put a 2 in the box if you're pumped up and you're starting to understand how the new scaling process works for 2018. Nathan, we got Remy, Ido, I believe that's the way you say it right, Chris, Chase, we've got Jay, Nathan, Brian, Josh, Chantel, Chuck, Gerard, Steve, Aaron. Guys, thanks so much for following along. I hope you're enjoying this. We're going to go into Audience Expander now. So how do we actually expand our reach into new segments of the marketplace to scale? Well, lookalikes is the best way to do that, right? By far, lookalikes are the most profitable type of ad set, okay? By far. And also, guys, you want to consider like a lookalike is like your own traffic source. No one else has that audience because it's generated by Facebook for you based on data that you sent Facebook. So only you can have that lookalike, unless you like share it with a friend or something, but I wouldn't do that. Keep the lookalike to yourself. It's like having your own traffic source. So you need at least 1,000 people in a custom audience before making a lookalike. Okay, unless it's an add to cart or a purchase, you can have 400 people in that custom audience and then make the lookalike. Okay, and that's from a specific product campaign. By far, guys, in the last 3 months with Q4 and everything, the best lookalikes by far are initiate checkout, purchase, view content, add to cart, page call to action, page engaged, and engaged post. Okay, so those by far you definitely want to try out first and go from there. So again, what is lookalike? It's basically just Facebook coming up with a brand new audience just for you, no one else, based on your database that you've sent it, all that data, whether it's people who clicked to the product page, added to cart, initiated checkout, or purchased. It's being able to build that lookalike audience only for you. And it's very, very profitable. Okay, so lookalikes here, you can see awesome ROAS, all over 2x, and we spent 25, we returned 54, 589. Okay, so these are all lookalike ad sets, performed very, very well. Now, with the lookalikes for the engaged post ones, you want to do, those are under engagement. So you go to engagement and then you go to page, and then you can select those page ones. Definitely test those out because they work really well. Now, this is really huge as well. I forgot to mention this. With the bigger audiences, 10 million plus, another huge reason for this is because it's so much easier to break down, right? Because what will happen is you'll see you're getting a bunch of sales, but maybe it's not profitable. So maybe you're at 1.5 times ROAS. You're not quite there. You're not quite doubling your money at the 2x ROAS point. What you can do is actually edit the ad set and change the age range to the best 10-year age range. So let's say 45 to 54 is performing best. Great. Change it to that age range, and now it's going to re-optimize and get you much better results. After that, you can also try splitting out desktop versus mobile with Facebook and Instagram. You can also split out right-hand side or combine right-hand side with desktop because it's desktop anyway. And you can even split out iPhone versus Android, iOS versus Android. These three steps we don't typically do, but you can try it to see if you can get some more juice out of the campaign. But by far, guys, segmenting at a 10-year age range works so well now, as long as that original audience is over 10 million. Because when you break it down into that new 10-year age range, it's still going to be quite large, right? So I hope that makes sense as well. So geo-scaling, this is interesting. So what do we do once we've kind of maxed out our audiences and lookalikes and all that good stuff? Well, again, you always want to start with USA traffic only. Most of your sales will come from there. Then you test worldwide, excluding bad countries. But then what you can also even do is test Europe as a region, Asia, North America, South America. But make sure you exclude all those bad countries on the previous slide that I showed you. So some other ways you can scale there by geo or by country or region in that case. So now let's talk about broad scaling. What is broad scaling? Well, let's say you type in fishing into the ad set, the audience level there. You're going to click on suggested interests next. You're going to go and find one broad interest per ad set to test. So let's say you test 5 broad interests in the same ad set. You can actually swap out niche keywords to find more suggested interests. So let's say I just type in fishing, I hit suggested interests. It brings up like 10 interests that I can group together or split out into one interest per ad set, up to you. But then I take one of those suggested interests that I found, I plug it into the main keyword instead of fishing. Maybe I just type in fish. It's going to give you different suggested interests. Okay, so you swap out the main niche keyword to find even more suggested interests. With this method, guys, it's so easy. You don't have to do a lot of work with this, a lot of research. It's all right there for you using suggested interests. And it's really a goldmine of low competition interests to scale with, because people aren't going to take the time and do the work to uncover these interests. They're lazy, right? You want to go and do that work. Click the suggested interests, go through the interests, plug them in one by one, and see what else pops up. So really easy way to broad scale there after your lookalikes. Wow, that's a lot. All right, guys, so this is it. This is key number 4, what you all been waiting for. Why you came on this webinar today is the RevUp method. Now, this is not for the faint of heart, guys. Please use this method with caution. Do not go out there and blow out your budget, spend a bunch of money, waste a bunch of money, and come back crying or give up with e-commerce, right? This is only for people who have a successful product campaign who want to scale it huge. Very, very hyper aggressive strategy. With the strategy, again, 1.27 million in 2 months, 7 figures in 6 months, 900K in 6 months. It goes on and on. People are using the strategy. They've been using it for a while. I've actually came and redid the strategy based on the pusher method a couple years ago. Now it's called the RevUp method, a new way to do it. It's the fastest way to scale your campaigns. You can 2 to 3x per day your ad spend by revving up the budgets. So what you want to do is crank up the budgets, rev them up at 9 a.m., 12 p.m., 5 p.m. You can test different times here, but basically 2 or 3 times per day, you can rev up the budget. So for example, if my ad set is $25 per day budget and I'm getting, 3 times ROAS, a really good ROAS, you can crank that budget to $50 on the same day. If it's still working in the late afternoon, you can crank it again to $100 a day. So you can rev it all up on the same day. each time you double the budget. Now, again, this only works with ad sets that are doing really, really well. Minimum 2 times ROAS. I would like to see 3, 4, 5 times ROAS, but at a bare minimum 2 times, right? You definitely want to have that wiggle room in case the ROAS does dip down, which it can do when you're scaling with this method. So the higher the ROAS on the ad set, the better. Then you can start doubling the budget 2 or 3 times a day. So let's go through this method as a live example. So overall, we spent $6,000, earned back 12. That's perfect, just under 2x ROAS. But as you can see here, what I would do in this case for this day is I would rev up this first one here. It's got 5.25 ROAS, rev it up. We're going to double the budget. Same on the second one. That's over 2x. That's 2x, 2x, almost 3x, 2.59, 2.75. All those, I would double the budget at least 2 or 3 times per day. Okay. So again, guys, not for the faint of heart. You can double or even triple your ad spend on the same day very easily. And this is not a spectator sport. This is full contact. You got to be there all day watching these ad sets. There are third-party tools out there that can auto-optimize for you and help save money using this method, which I'll cover a whole other webinar. But essentially with this, you definitely want to be watching your ad sets closely. Make sure you don't blow your budget. Make sure it's working. If the ROAS does drop to below 2 times ROAS after a rev up, just pause the ad set and you can start it again tomorrow, right? No harm, no foul. So with this method, essentially it's a daily thing. You're looking at your ad sets now on a daily basis. Every day they're going out to war. Maybe some will die. You can revive them tomorrow, turn them back on, but some will come back home with a lot of money for you, right? So this method is really minimizing the timeline down to 1 day instead of usually looking at the last 3 days or 7 days. We're looking at literally each day as its own battle in this big war, right? So every day is a fight. Got to come prepared to win the auction. And again, very hands-on approach. But with this method, you're not going to miss out on any revenue gains. You'll be able to scale very quickly and efficiently as long as you're watching it and it's a very active thing, right? So you're doubling the budget. If it doesn't work after the rev up, you pause it, try it again tomorrow at the previous budget. So it's a way to go up and down with the budgets to find that sweet spot with your ad sets. And it's definitely not going to work on all ad sets, right? But when you do make it work, you can scale very, very aggressively by doing like $300 a day to almost 50K a day. Okay. So definitely works incredibly well. So you can take a $100 per day campaign, scale it to $1,000 a day overnight, and your store revenue, you could go from 1K a day to 10K a day very, very quickly, just within a few days. Now, this method works best with higher budgets, so $100 plus per day. That way we can start scaling it rapidly, obviously using manual bid because the budget's over 100. Okay, so if the ad set doesn't do well the next day, again, guys, just pause that ad set or bring the budget back down by 50%, find that sweet spot and leave it alone. Please use this method carefully. Don't come back crying and say, hey, this didn't work. I lost all this money. That's because you probably didn't watch it. You got to be there. It's an active method. This is why I want to show you this last, because it is definitely the fastest way to scale and get profitable, but also very dangerous. So be careful with this, right? And please, please, please keep this method a secret. It's just for you guys, my highest value subscribers. And I'd love to give you guys massive value. And I'd love to hear your results with this if it works for you. So all in all, guys, these strategies I've shown you today, working together, are responsible for tripling my students' businesses in 2017. And I have no doubt it's going to happen again this year in 2018. So guys, throw one in the box if you think your business would benefit from similar strategies just like the ones I showed you today. Gerard thinks so, Brian thinks so, Nathan thinks so, Chris, Cameron, Chase thinks so, Brian, Chuck, Jamie, Josh, Chris, another Aaron, we got Rick here, Dean. Awesome, guys. I'm glad you're excited. So what I want to do is I want to invite you to something very special. This year, we're doing something massive. We've put together the Millionaire Challenge World Tour. So we're going to 4 different locations around the world this year: New York, London, Sydney, and San Diego. It's going to be an absolute blast. I'm so pumped, guys, to be able to meet you face-to-face in person and coach you one-on-one, also in a group format setting. We're going to talk more about this in detail, but first, take note. New York is coming up first. It's in 2 months. March 23rd to 24th, that's New York City. Then we have April 20 to 21 in London, United Kingdom. Sydney, Australia, May 25 to 26. And then we wrap up with San Diego, June 20 22 to 23. Guys, if you are in Canada, obviously you can come to, if you're in the East Coast, just come to New York City. Very easy to get there if you're in Toronto or anything like that. If you guys are in Vancouver, Canada, or West Coast, come to San Diego. So these 4 locations, the reason why I chose them is because they're central hubs and airports in the world. Pretty much for anywhere, it doesn't matter where you live, you can get to one of these locations. So that's the reason why we did it, to really give everyone the opportunity and the chance to be able to come to the Millionaire Challenge live event and literally change your life, guys. So many people have come to these events and they're doing 7 figures now with their business. It's incredible. So what is the Millionaire Challenge and how does it all work? It's a live workshop. So it's a small workshop setting. Okay. There's 20 people maximum per event. And that's it. We want to keep it nice and small. You can see some pictures here of previous events. It's a very hands-on training, right? This is a workshop. You're going to be working extremely hard. Again, not for the faint of heart. You want to come prepared to work your butt off. I'm not just going to go up there and like talk and blabber the whole time. I'm going to do a module, then you're going to learn. So we're going to be, learning and doing. And there's no fluff with this, guys. This is direct, actionable content and steps and strategies that you're going to be implementing live at the workshop. Okay. I'm going to literally tell you, go and do this right now. Here's how to do it. And let's make money. Let's make money today, tomorrow. By the time you leave, campaigns will be up and running and scaled. All right. So for this year, there's going to be brand new training modules, brand new content never shared before, new ways to find products, new ways to test, new ways to scale, including the RevUp method in detail and great examples of that. Big point here, guys, there's going to be no replays. So if you think you can wait around for the replay to come out, it's not going to happen. That's why we're doing 4 events this year. You might even have to sign an NDA. We want to keep these new methods and strategies internal just for our best subscribers and for the people who actually come to the events. So no replays with this. Very, very limited access. There's no virtual tickets or any of that. You got to show up, get in, put in the hard work and get ready to work hard. Okay. Now included with this is coaching. So we're going to be including private coaching sessions after each module. When everybody's working and implementing what I just taught, you're going to come one by one to the back of the room, sit down with me, and we're going to go through your business personally, one-on-one. Okay. Great chance. Guys, I charge 25 grand per day to sit down with you one-on-one. This is your chance at a much lower cost to come, not only get personal one-on-one coaching with me, but also with other people as well. Okay, obviously I can help you with anything you need, optimizing, scaling, whatever part of the process or business you're in, I can help you with. Now, this is huge, guys. I can promise you. The biggest reason why I'm so successful in my life is because of networking, 100% networking. Going out there, meeting people, chatting with people, building relationships. Because what happens is you create this community of this abundance mindset, right? It's a big difference between abundance mindset and scarcity mindset. Abundance mindset means people just like this on the screen here, people who are all on the same path, the same journey, who are on the same, in the exact same business as what you're doing, and we're helping each other grow, right? We're sharing strategies, sharing tips, we're testing things and sharing those results to see what's working best in the marketplace. So absolutely 100% masterminding with other entrepreneurs at these live events is huge, right? We have awesome lunches both days as well. We can share those strategies, share those methods, create relationships for life, guys. This is your opportunity to not only have a lot of fun, learn a ton, work hard, but also meet people who could literally change your life. They could tell you one golden nugget that could change it all for you very, very quickly. And we really push each other to grow as well. So there is like a competition happening in the room, which is also pretty fun as well. People are like, some people in there are brand new, other people are doing 6 figures, some people are doing 7 figures. It's really cool energy in the room and everybody is really helpful to each other, right? And at the end of the day, guys, this is also almost like a vacation for you. If you've ever been to one of these 4 locations, it's your opportunity to come and travel and get out behind the computer and enjoy. Right? So we work hard, but we also play hard as well. Again, we got a couple lunches both days and you guys can go out at night and have a bunch of fun. We get away from your computer, guys, move into a new environment and have an absolute blast. Okay. You're going to feel refreshed after and ready to go and absolutely crush it with your business. Now, the results when people work directly with me one-on-one are astonishing. I don't care if you're making $100 a day, okay, or $170 a day, $200 a day, wherever you're at, I'm going to push you to that next level. Okay, so if you're doing 100 a day, I'm going to show you how to get to 1,000 a day. If you're doing 1,000 a day, I'm going to show you how to get to 2 grand a day, or 5 grand a day, or 3 grand a day. Wherever you're at, I can help you get to the next part of that journey. right? 7 grand a day, 80 grand, 30 days, 6 figures, 30 days, 1.1 million, 1.2 million, 2.2 million, 1.3 million, 7 months. Guys, we have so many testimonials and people work directly with me. They get amazing, amazing results. Okay, 1 million in 5 months, 1.1 in 6 months, another 7 figures in 6 months, almost 900K in 6 months, 6 figures. And look at this, guys. I'm gonna be showing you conversion tactics as well. Not only how to scale, but how to maximize your store using Commerce HQ, right? Obviously our own platform that we fine-tuned from the ground up to convert higher and give you higher average order value. Where do you see conversion rates this high with any other platform? You're not going to see it with Shopify or BigCommerce or WooCommerce or anything. We have fine-tuned this thing. It's an absolute beast. You can get conversion rates this high if you have your product page set up correctly. 10.5% conversion rate, 11% conversion rate, 12% conversion rate. It's mind-blowing. And you're going to be learning all about that live at these events. Now, let's talk about hurdles, right? Because it's not for everyone. A lot of people are at different stages in their lives right now. And at the end of the day, guys, you've probably been through this at one point in your life, maybe going through it now. You know, some people are all over the map. You're going through so many webinars or programs or courses and following all these different people and gurus. You really have no focus and no consistency, right? You get distracted. You keep trying all these random things. You don't take enough action. Another big reason why I've been able to be successful, and my students as well, is because they focused on one thing. The one thing is e-commerce. The second thing is Facebook ads. So understanding truly how Facebook ads works, testing, optimizing, scaling, and launching ads and products every single day. That focus is going to get you results. It's only a matter of time, guys. That's the biggest difference to people who succeed and fail, people who have laser focus and consistency in this business. The second biggest hurdle, entrepreneurship can be lonely. Let's face it, right? We're all at our computer. We're trying to make this thing work. Maybe you have a spouse or family or friends who don't support you. They doubt you. It can really affect your mindset and make you feel bad enough where you actually stop taking action because you're scared of this ridicule, right? It becomes this crazy vicious circle and it can literally kill your business in its tracks, right? So you definitely want to get out, come to these events, meet people, and build these relationships for life. So you need these relationships with mentors like myself and others that can actually get you results fast, right? Literally on day 2, getting results, not in 12 months, 24 months, or what have you. You're going to learn as much as you would in 12 months in these 2 days. It's incredible. And let's face it, Facebook ads and e-commerce changes so fast. You want to have that community, those people to help you get through those changes, right? Almost every single month, there's something new to implement or test. So you got to be in the know with a mentor in a group who can tell you what's working best today, not last month or last year. So networking is absolutely critical, and it's a big, big part of these events. Now, if you knew that a $55,000 value event would literally change your life so that you could quit your job, spend more time with your family, travel the world, or build your dream home, would you somehow find a way to be at that event? Guys, let me know. Put a 1 in the box if you would absolutely find a way to come to one of these events if it literally changed your life. Awesome, guys. Nathan, Chris, Marisa thinks so. Chris, we've got Josh, Brian, Jamie. We've got Jai as well, and Val. Awesome, guys. So how bad do you truly want to change your life? Imagine being in a support group with others who are at your level and even much higher, ready to help you succeed with e-commerce when you build relationships for life so you'll never be alone again. And you can absolutely crush it this year, 2018, with all of our help. You're going to walk away, guys, with your business firing on all cylinders. By day 2, you're going to see traction at the live event in person. Your ads are going to be running. Sales are going to be coming in. Look at this here. At one of our events last year, this person did $32,000 on day 2 at the live event. He was so pumped up. He went on a boat cruise, fireworks. It was amazing, amazing experience. The day before, guys, when he came to the event, he was doing $800 a day revenue. So this is definitely an extreme case, but if you're crazy enough, if you're going to work your butt off all night, launch a bunch of ads, this can happen. So that was incredible. Probably the biggest win that I've seen at these live events on literally day 2, 32 grand in revenue. So what's going to happen in this live event exactly? Well, with day 1, we're going to go through essential training. We're going to talk about store conversion tactics. Like I showed you the 10, 11, 12% conversion rates. I'm going to show you how to get that with your product pages. I'm going to show you hot product selection using brand new tools and strategies. I'm going to show you Facebook ad testing strategies that are working right now, 2018. Day 2, we're going to go through advanced training. So once you have all the basics, now I'm going to show you how to scale with multiple methods using the scaling master plan. I'm also going to be showing you campaign automation using third-party tools to automate your Facebook ads. Yes, literally automate the optimization process. And then at the end, we're going to go through exactly how to outsource everything. You should not be doing customer service or fulfillment, or at one point, you probably shouldn't even be launching ads. You can outsource everything, guys, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that on day 2, advanced training. Of course, you also get the private coaching as well, one-on-one with me. After each module, we're going to sit down. I'm going to help you with your business. Okay, personally, one-on-one with anything you need, whether it's with the store, the products, the ads, the scaling, wherever you're at. Don't be shy. Come to the back. I'm definitely gonna help you out, get to that next level, and push through these barriers. You will leave this event, guys, with multiple 7-figure strategies. Okay, 100%. If you actually put in the effort, you follow what I do and what I say, you work at this thing long enough, hard enough, you're gonna get results so quickly. Okay. Again, I don't care if you guys are 20 years old, 60 years old, you're doing $100 a day or 10 grand a day. There's a place for you at this event. It's amazing to see, someone doing 7 figures sitting beside someone, just starting off in the industry and helping them and sharing, tips and tricks. It's this amazing abundance mindset and energy in the room, which is so powerful. And I think it's great to have that mix of different types of businesses and people in the room. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how to double or even triple your business so fast. Again, no matter where you're at, I can help you scale up faster. So who is here to really finally be ready to break through and have the transformation of your life in 2018? This is it, guys. Who's here ready to join us live for a $55,000 value event for pennies on the dollar? Now, there's 2 options. You can go and do this yourself. You can keep testing hundreds of products, spend tens of thousands on ads, figure out how to scale without losing your shirt. This is like taking the long path, okay? This could take you a year or 2 years, who knows? You're probably gonna struggle and give up along the way. A lot of people do. Not the best way to go about it. If you want a massive shortcut, if you wanna come to this event and by day 2, be making sales, campaigns live, traffic coming in, the investment is $10K USD. You can go right now, jonmac.co/apply. We do have payment plans available. It is a 2-day live workshop with one-on-one coaching sessions, 20 people max, excuse me. And you're gonna be learning the latest methods and strategies live in the class. Now, we do have some bonuses lined up for you. Okay, so the first bonus is pre-event training and support. So you're gonna get instant access as soon as you put down your deposit today, or if you can pay in full, even better. We'll help you out with a bit of a discount as well if you can pay in full. You're gonna come prepared to the event, compared to the scale of the event. So all these videos you're gonna get instant access to, and that's gonna help you out a ton, okay? The second bonus is post-event training. Now, this was a big thing last year. People really wanted more support afterwards. So we've decided to put together some post-training videos to help you out and a members area only for aftercare, right? Plus you get the private Facebook group as well. Chat with members from the event. You built those relationships, now continue them on, help each other grow, keep testing and sharing results and tips and tricks and strategies. So you're gonna be continuing the conversation, split testing, and helping each other grow and getting over hurdles. Now, bonus number 4, guys, I'm gonna be there all day, both days, and I'm also gonna be sitting down with you personally at lunch on both days. So we can have a fireside chat. You can talk about your struggles, what you need help with. Definitely love to hear your story. On both days, we'll have a nice lunch together. Bonus number 5. Now, this is the biggest one, guys. For the first 10 people today, you're going to be getting $2,500 off. The price is only $7,500 USD. And please hurry before the spots are gone. jonmac.co/apply. So instead of 10K, it's only $7,500 today USD. That is an incredible price and discount for as much value as you're going to be getting at this 2-day live workshop. So what am I going to be doing for you? I'm going to be giving you 16 hours of workshop live lessons. Literally 2 days, 16 hours from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. We might even go to 6, 7 p.m. Okay. A lot of these events you go to, you just sit around in a massive, seminar or event and you listen to this guy blabber on for hours and hours and you don't really get any work done. I'm going to be giving you massive content and you're going to be doing the work live, plus private coaching sessions and all the latest product strategies and scaling strategies as well. So today, first time people get the price down to $7,500 USD. Again, jonmac.co/apply. We do have payment plans available. We want to help you get there, guys. Okay. Definitely want to help you get to these events any way possible. Would love to see you face to face. What you're going to be doing at the events is you're going to be loading up your store with proven products, launching ads for those products, optimizing, scaling, and networking with other entrepreneurs. All right, so again, this is strictly limited to 20 people per event, and we've already sold a bunch of tickets as well. Okay, so the price is gonna go up later, so please hurry, jonmac.co/apply and get in there. Come to one of the 4 events. They're all over the world, guys. This is your chance, this is your opportunity to blow it up in 2018. You've got New York, March 23-24, London, UK, April 20-21, Sydney, Australia, May 25-26, and San Diego, June 22 and 23. Okay, so really all you got to do is just go to jonmac.co/apply, answer a super simple questionnaire. We're going to review it, see if you're a good fit. If we do think you're a good fit, we're going to schedule a call with my best coach, Robert. On the call, Robert's going to ask you questions. And at the end of the day, guys, you're either going to come to the event or you're not. And it's simple as that, okay? So price is definitely going to go up. Please don't delay, jonmac.co/apply. There are only 20 spots available per live event. So 80 spots total. A bunch of them are already sold. And again, the first 10 people today get $2,500 off, just 7,500 USD. We do have payment plans as well. Again, guys, there's no replays, no recordings or live stream. We've got Robert on the call. I'm going to bring him on in about 2 seconds. Please, guys, don't share outside the mastermind group as well. And again, you can get to 1 million in 5 months, 1 million in 6 months, 1.2 in 2 months, or 7 figures in 6 months. It's totally possible. It all comes down to you, your tenacity, your grit, and how bad you want this business to work. Okay, so you're getting 16 hours of lessons, $10,000 value. All your proven products, ad copy, and creative are going to be given to you on a silver platter, also worth 10 grand. The latest targeting and scaling strategies worth another 10 grand. Private coaching sessions worth 25 grand. And the networking opportunity is, I think, priceless, right? You're going to get access to the private Facebook group. Go right now, guys, go apply, jonmac.co/apply, and I will hopefully see you in New York, London, Sydney, or San Diego. There's the dates on the screen. Definitely let us know which one you can make when you're signing up in the questionnaire, and Robert will be speaking to you very soon. So at the end of the day, guys, are you ready to crush it in 2018? I want you to be one of these people here. In this photo right here, I can see multiple people who are doing 7 figures right now with their store. So are you next? Come to the live event and learn. So apply right now, guys, jonmac.co/apply. We're going to jump into a questionnaire, a Q&A right now with Robert. He's on the call as well, and be happy to answer any questions you have about the live events. All right, Robert, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Awesome.
We got a question here about the process, so I'll kind of explain it. It's a 4-step process. The question here was, if there are a bunch of people going to be there, how do you make your decision on only letting 20 people in? We want to have a quality group, and we want to have a group of people that are likely to succeed. Over the last year or so, we've identified a number of factors that tell us whether someone's going to have a high likelihood of success or they're not. So our qualification process is built around that. Now, a lot of people out there promote products, programs, etc., and they say, well, only a limited amount of people in, et cetera, and really basically you fog a mirror, produce the money, and you can do whatever you want. In this particular case, we actually have standards. Those standards have to be met. We have different standards based on your level of ability, whether you're intermediate, beginner, or advanced, but we've identified what factors qualify for somebody to have a likelihood of success. So we'll be screening for that. So the way the process goes, you'll fill out an application. At the end of the application, you'll be taken to a scheduler to review, to book your review call. And then during that time, we'll answer any questions you have, also ask the questions that we have based on any concerns we see for any reasons you might have difficulty or reasons you might not succeed, and then we'll determine if there's a good fit. Between the time you book that call and the time we have that call, I've shot a short 10-minute video to give you some answers to some of the common questions I get about the format and things of that nature. Watching that will save a tremendous amount of time. Then we'll have the call, show up on time, be prepared to ask and answer any questions to make sure it is a good fit. And then if it is a good fit, we'll offer an invitation for you to attend. If not, if it doesn't look like a good time or there are certain concerns that we have, then we'll divert you to other resources or talk about what your game plan ought to be instead of attending the event. Now, during the last year or so, I've spoken to hundreds and hundreds of people in the e-com space, beginners, intermediate, advanced. I find that a lot of people say they want to get to a certain level, but they don't necessarily do what's necessary to get there. And that applies really to all three types of individuals, whether they're beginners, intermediates, or advanced. For the beginners, they typically spend too much time learning, researching, talking about it, chatting about it, finding out a new answer to the latest problem that they've discovered that's going to get in their way. They don't spend any time doing anything. So most of them never get off the ground. Now, for the intermediates, they often tell themselves, well, I'll get training or I'll get coaching when I reach some arbitrary level. Most of them don't get to that level, not on their own. And so then they end up biting the bullet months down the road, and they waste far too much time. You know, it's funny, for a number of people, they'll apply for an event like this and they'll say, well, you know, I'm at X, you know, X amount per month, or I want to get from, you know, 5 figures a month to 10 figures a month, or 10 figures a month, or I want to get to from 6 to 7 figures per year, and I keep bouncing up against a ceiling. Now, for most of these people, they've spent valuable time and months trying to figure this thing out on their own. And I look at an event like this, and I could just pay the fee, get in a room, have John eyeball your stuff, tell you exactly what to do, and just get the thing done, get it figured out. There's not a lot of value in figuring out what's already been figured out. And when you put yourself in an environment like this, step down, figure it out, and you're done. Otherwise, you spend 3 to 6 more months trying to figure this stuff out. And like, you can't recapture the money you would have had otherwise had you just fixed the problem. And then of course, for the advanced folks, they're sitting on a gold mine of opportunity that's basically sitting right under their noses. Now, it's invisible to them because they're too close to the businesses, and they've only got their own experience to rely on. John's worked with so many different niches and so many different people doing so many things in the e-com space that he sees things that other people are oblivious to, particularly the business owners themselves. So to be able to come in to an environment and say, I've got these sticking points, this is exactly what I need to do, and have him identify those little tiny hinges that swing big doors is inestimable value. So for an advanced person, this is pretty much a no-brainer to be in this room. But again, it all circles back to, we want to have a quality room. So whether you be a beginner, an intermediate, or an advanced level person, we want to make sure that you're going to get what you came for, and we're going to have successful students coming out of this thing.
100% agreed. And guys, I've got a couple questions here from Gideon. Gideon asks, how much do we need to have on hand after the payment of the $7,500 for the event? Great question, Gideon. So I would say you need at least if you're brand new to Facebook ads, if you haven't even like warmed up your ad account, you need at least $1,000 to warm up that ad account. So that'd be a bare minimum. You'd want to have at least $1,000 ad spend for the event, or even before the event, so that your ad account's warmed up and ready to go. Okay, so that's pretty much all you would need, is at least $1,000 to spend on Facebook ads before or during or after the event, preferably before or during, of course. The second question from Gideon asks, do you cover the software that keeps us from overspending and pausing ads? Yes, absolutely. So at this live event, will be the first time ever I show you how to use a brand new tool to automate your Facebook ads. So it will literally optimize the ads for you. It will pause the ads based on rules you set up, and it's going to save you so much money and so much time. Going to be going over in detail those strategies and exactly how to use that software. Brian, good question. Are we going to have to switch over to Commerce HQ from Shopify? Yes. Using Commerce HQ is definitely one of the prerequisites coming to the live events. The reason being is because we all use Commerce HQ, and all the conversion tactics going to be showing you are using Commerce HQ. Okay. If you want to move over from Shopify, very, very easy. We have a migration app. It's going to save you so much money, convert so much higher, and that's definitely one of the prerequisites for the events.
Did you cover the question from the other Brian, John? Has a Shopify store, no sales, 20 products on it, going to cancel it and port it to CHQ? Did you answer that question?
No, yeah, great question, Brian. So to answer that question, if you have a Shopify store, guys, and it's not successful, you don't have like many sales, or it's not working, just shut it down, start up brand new on Commerce HQ. There's no reason to port over anything unless it's already working well for you. Right, so in your case, definitely just start up a brand new store in Commerce HQ and shut down your Facebook, your Shopify store. Good question.
Question from Shamika. Are you going to go over how to hire a VA or set up warehouses, i.e. moving from AliExpress?
How to hire V instead of we absolutely yes. So on the day 2 at the end, we're going to be going through outsourcing everything. So I'm literally going to show you how to find people, how to hire them, how to train them, what positions to put them into, and really what it's going to allow you to do is have the freedom and lifestyle you want. Right? Myself, I don't do any of the day-to-day operations with our stores. We have a huge team there in the Philippines. We got 10 people. They do customer service, fulfillment. They launch the ad post. They do the targeting. We have the third-party tool that's doing the optimizing. Sometimes I get in there, or my ad manager will get in there and scale. But this is what you want to learn. You want to learn how do you actually become the business owner and not create another job for yourself and then be an employee. You don't want to be behind the computer 8, 12 hours a day. You want to have that team that is doing all this stuff for you in the background, day-to-day operations, all done for you. So definitely it's going to be a huge part of the training on day 2.
Worse than spending your entire life in front of a computer, making a lot of money and having no life.
Exactly.
Kind of not the point.
Got a question here from Aaron, wondering about the drag and drop builder. Great question. Yes, with Commerce HQ, guys, we have the store visual builder. It's going to be coming out first version, I believe, the 25th, 2 weeks, maybe even less than 2 weeks, right? So very, very soon, we're going to get it out to you. And that's going to be a lot of fun. Aaron says he'll also be signing up for the event, and he has a mentor that knows me extremely well. That's very cool, Aaron. Love to see you there. Definitely, guys, if you have any more questions, Robert and myself, we got about 10 more minutes, and then we got to run off and get on these calls.
Yeah, good stuff. We actually had a question here from Chase. He's still in high school. Some days his part-time job, bit of money saved up, but I don't know if he'll have enough time to manage everything. Any suggestions? And as far as the money goes, what could I do?
Yeah, that's a great question for you, Robert.
Yeah. If you want, go ahead and this event may or may not be for you, and I'm thinking it's probably not, but if you want to fill out the app, I'll take a look at it and I'll give you my best advice based on what you've submitted. There's probably a way forward once I get a clear understanding of what's going on in your business. I obviously don't have any information here. So if you'll answer the questions in the questionnaire, and then just let me know you're really not applying for this, that's fine, but I'll send you back a response so you can at least take some steps moving forward. Now, if it turns out looking at your stuff, you actually would be a great candidate, that's perfectly fine. I mean, this is not a complicated business. But it requires some real work. So if you're cut out for the thing, you can certainly start at this age level. In fact, we've had other inquiries from other people at this age bracket, and yeah, they've been successful. So go ahead and fill that out and send it off, and we'll see what we can do.
Awesome. Gideon's asking more about the drag and drop builder. Yeah, so guys, with Commerce HQ, we have something called the Visual Builder, which is a drag and drop app built into Commerce HQ, and it's going to allow you to totally customize the look and feel of your store. So you can drag and drop titles and images, create landing pages and all these things. And eventually we're even going to have funnels, or you can have one-click upsells. So definitely want to be watching out for that and getting on Commerce HQ. That's going to be included for free as well. Okay, so we're going to be covering more about that at the live events too.
We didn't cover in detail, but the other thing that's really valuable about this particular event is like meeting other people in this space. I have a mentor from years ago. He said, you don't really get to know anybody until you've had 3 meals with them. And by being able to spend some time with people in this environment, I also like the fact that there's a mix of people of different abilities, because when everybody's at the same level, there has a tendency to become a bit of groupthink about things and ideas. By having some beginners in the room, they sometimes ask questions where they reveal that the emperor has no clothes. It's always nice to get back to the basics and tune things up and get your awareness called to those things. By the opposite side of the coin, as a beginner to an intermediate level, it's great to get around people who have already trod the path and they're ahead of you, and they can tell you, what their experience was, what to look out for, how things are moving forward and things they do differently. So there's a really good value here to having a variety of ability and skill levels at this conference, especially in a small environment like this.
JS is asking about the replay. We're going to get that out right after this, guys, as well. Brian is asking, should we start a brand new store at the event? It doesn't really matter. Like, as long as you have a general store and it's on Commerce HQ, that's all you need. And then I'm going to show you exactly how to find products, load them up on your store, and launch the ads. So as long as you have a store up and running and it's a general store so you can throw up any product in any niche, then you'll be good to go.
Yeah, the thing I've told people in preparation for this event to put themselves in position to take full advantage if you're at the beginning stages or if you've got a store that's struggling, it's most important just to get the mechanics down before you get to the event. So, can you get the store set up? Can you put a product in? Can you run an ad? Can you look at your metrics? Can you identify which metric is screwed up in the dashboard and what's likely to fix it? Those are the kind of things you'll at least want to have some familiarity with. So when Jon says, load these things up or run this ad or do this thing, you'll be able to quickly just do it. So you don't have to be an expert in any by any measure, but you have to be at least get familiar with the mechanics of getting this stuff done. If you're having difficulty succeeding up to now, then that's the advantage of being at this event. Jon will look directly to what it is you're doing and point out specifically what needs to change.
Yep, that's 100% correct. Guys, we're going to be wrapping it up in about 5 minutes, so definitely get your last questions in regarding the live events. Again, we've got New York, we have London, we have Sydney, we have San Diego, 4 amazing locations all around the world. This is your chance to come network with some other amazing entrepreneurs on the exact same path, exact same journey as you are, and be able to meet me one-on-one. Get all the new training, get all the new content, understand how to actually run this business properly from A to Z. And we'll get it going, guys. This is it. This is your opportunity to really explode into 2018 so that by the time Q4 rolls around again, you're going to be 100% prepared to scale huge.
Really early on about why no event in Canada, Jon?
Got a question there for you, Robert, from Chris.
Oh, for Chris, for me, sure. What is your accepted payment plan? Yeah, we don't have a set payment plan. Those are bespoke. We can adjust that. My primary concern right up front is this a good fit? Does it make sense for you to be there? Then once we've taken a look at that, then we determine, all right, what are your circumstances and how do we create a plan that will work for you as well as for us on our side. So those are all bespoke. There's no set payment plan because every situation is different. And the other thing also is we've got numerous timelines here. So we've got New York, we've got San Diego, we've got we've got London and Sydney, and they're all happening at different times. So they lend themselves to different structures. So if that's a concern, we'll look at that and figure that out once we've determined there's a good fit.
Sounds good. Any more questions here? Let's see. Awesome, guys. All right, I think that's it for the questions, Robert. We're going to jump off now, guys. Thanks so much for coming. Throw 1 in the box if you enjoyed the webinar today and got massive value from the content. I love doing them, and if you guys love them as well, we're going to keep doing them. So definitely let me know. Thanks so much, Brian, Nathan, Chris. We got Rick, a bunch of Brian's here today. Thanks a lot. Definitely, guys, go jump in, jonmac.co/apply. Apply right now. Very limited spots available for these live events, and I would love to see you at one of the 4 of the live events this year for 2018. All right, guys, take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.